everyone. I'd like to discuss about the issue of customer relationship and services. This is my qualification. Basically, I have worked in the hospitality industry for 25 years and in academia for 13 years. When I worked in the hospitality industry, I started with the role of the operator. This photo was taken when I was the general manager of the hotel. That was between 1972 to 1997, the period when I worked in the hotel industry. Hotels are still my favorite. Today, our topic is customer relationship and services. This photo was taken when my student and I were in the press conference. This conference was mainly to promote Hakka cuisine. During that day, many students came to attend the competition, and these students received awards from the deputy mayor. That's why these students put up chef's hats and also wore chef's whites and gloves. In today's session, we will touch on 8 topics. First, a company's mission, goals, and values. Second, the triangular relationship when it comes to services and interaction. Third, market positioning, and also how to provide premium services. In other words, if you are a 5-star hotel, 4-star hotel, or a 3-star hotel, what kind of level of services should you provide? Fourth, customers' decision-making models and key factors. When a customer makes a decision, what are the considerations they take? What kind of procedure they experience, and what are the key factors? Fifth, since this is so important, how do we establish customer relationship? What's the steps and methods? Sixth, how do we increase customer satisfaction rate? What are the basic services we should provide so that customer can be happy and choose us? Seventh, since customer relationship is so important, what are the issues when it comes to customer management and services? And lastly, we know that a person can walk very fast, but he or she cannot walk for very long. We need to rely on a team. We are a team. Now let's move on to the main topic today. What's a company's mission, objective, and values? We know that companies are to make profits. They need to make profits. A company's founder and boss, their vision is very important. What's their objectives? Where is he leading us to? This is very highly related to the values of a company. In other words, of course, a founder of a company wants to make profit, but you need to know what's the corporate culture. Without profits, a company cannot support the employees. And likewise, the company cannot provide better services. So profit making is the most fundamental thing. Other than that, customer satisfaction is also the source of profits. So when you manage a company, you need to know what's the vision and mission of a company to have sustainable management. What can we do? We need to have very concrete strategies and building concrete values. That's very important. I mentioned earlier about the triangular relationship of services and interaction. As you can see, the company is placed at the top of the triangle, supported by employees and customers. For a company to be sustainable, the company relies on the balanced support of the employees and customers. Only with such balance can a company be sustainable. As you can see here, For customer to choose our company, the company rely on the external marketing, which is to make us visible to customers. Of course, the external marketing is done by the employees. Another important element is the interactive marketing between the employees and customers. A customer comes to the hotel and is looked after by the staff and provided service by the staff. When the customer is about to leave the hotel, the customer would be grateful and want to know more about this employee and wanted to be served by the same employee again. That's very important. To make the employee to have the willingness to provide service and stay in the company need to look after the employees well, give a good salaries, and provide proper career planning. In that case, the employees will be willing to stay at this company for a long time. Only with happy employees can we have happy customers and then happy supervisors and owners of a company. This should be a very positive triangle and interaction and cycle. The principles of services. What's important is that, first of all, you need to be genuine. As the owner of the hotel, you need to put your money where your mouth is. Same for the employees. Customers come here and are served by a group of great staff. If you are working as a sales representative or representation department, you need to keep your promise. So being genuine is very important. Next, it is very competitive nowadays. Why are customers loyal to you? It is because you have met their requirements. That's why service-oriented companies need to pay attention to what customers want instead of what they don't want. Then you can find a niche point. You need to continue to be innovative and provide great service and products. In this competitive world, if you have something that someone else don't, then you are winning against other people. If everyone else have everything, but you have something else, then you are even better. You need to be constantly innovative. If the food you provide is always the same and customers don't like it, they won't come back again. When you provide the services, the service staff need to be precise and clear, and they should know that customers are always right, which means we know in that triangle, it is supported by the employees and the customers. They need to rely on each other. Otherwise, the company wouldn't have exist. We need to meet the needs of the employees. As for the demands raised by the customers, we should always put them in the first place. Next, we need to treat customers' money as our money. We need to have empathy, which means, say, if you were the customer, you were treated wrongly, are you gonna be happy? If you come to the hotel and the staff keep asking you to spend the money on things you don't want to buy, and you don't feel satisfied, is this something that you want? You don't want to be treated that way, right? That's why I say that you need to treat customers' money as your money. You need to provide good suggestions to the customer so that they don't spend the money wrongly. And in this way, customer will feel that you are not just wanting them to spend the money, and you are being financially savvy for them. And then you need to put yourself in customers' shoes and solve the problems proactively, raise proposal and solution, and you need to make efforts and contribution based on customers' interests. If you achieve these 6 points, then as a company owner, you will think that your staff is great. Of course, you have the SOP, but your staff are providing customized services. Once you achieve these 6 points, then I would say your customer service system is very comprehensive. Now let's talk about the issue of the service concept. What's your perception about that? These 6 Chinese characters are quite interesting. They are in random order. They are 的、我、喜、事、欢、做. These 6 Chinese characters can be arranged into one sentence, and there are different ways of arranging them. Of course, there's a standard answer. If it's translated into English, I don't know how you play on these words, but in Chinese, the standard answer of the sentence to be arranged is to like the thing I do. Why do I say that? Think about it. In a hotel, there are front desk department, food and beverage department, sales department, purchasing department, and human resource department. Say I was the supervisor of the hotel. I ask my employee to do a certain thing that is not supposed to be done by this person, but this person is able to help. But if this staff doesn't think that this thing should be done by him, and he doesn't want to do it, and this task cannot be completed as requested by the supervisor. The reason why we play this game on words is to know how you arrange these characters into a sentence. I mentioned that the standard answer is to like the thing that I do. But this is a very interesting game. A lot of young people place the character I at the beginning of a sentence, like I do the thing I like, etc. So you can tell that young people are self-centered. Of course, you cannot say that young people are wrong, but if you always put I at the beginning of the sentence, you tell that young people wouldn't do things that they don't like. This is a small testing and game on words. Let's talk about what's the requirements of being a good service staff. What are the requirements? Looking beautiful or handsome, and having a perfect height, 6 feet tall. Is that so? You can think about this question. Of course, having a good appearance is good. As we mentioned before, having a good image will make others to have a good impression of you. Along with the professional services, customers will be happy and satisfied. But think about it. Professional services are very important. You need to know what customers like. Service is placed at the center, surrounded by knowledge, technique, and attitudes. None of them should be missed out. They are all essential. But you will notice that in our current generation, many things are replaced by technologies such as big data and artificial intelligence. So please be reminded that a lot of times, in order not to be replaced, you need to rely on your warmth, attitude, and creativity. Knowledge and techniques can be replaced by technology such as AI. Of course, you need to have the attitude and techniques, but we need to be innovative, and we need to know the importance of the attitude. From this image, you can know what the requirements of being a good service staff are. As you can see, first of all, you need to have a pair of athlete's legs, which means you need to be industrious. Don't be lazy. Don't just ask the customers to search information online and never stand up from the seat and guide the customers. So we need to have a pair of athlete's legs, like being industrious. You need to manage by being mobile. And next, you need to have a pair of powerful and delicate hands. As for your eyes, you need to learn to observe and have eagle eyes. You can tell what kind of customers they are and what their needs are. As for your brain, you need to have a clear mind. As for your mouth, it's not that you need to be eloquent Instead, you need to be sweet and make customer feel pleased. Customers shouldn't just pull a long face after hearing what you say. Next, you need to have a genuine heart. You need to keep your promise so that people know that you are a reliable and credible person. Now, let's move on to the SWOT analysis. What is SWOT analysis? Let's look at this together. S refers to strengths, your competitive edge. It's important to know ourselves. In this hospitality industry, we need to clearly know our strengths over others. For example, your language skills, your computer skills, or you are very eloquent and being quick responded. Next, of course, you will have weakness sometimes. Perhaps you are losing competitive edge over someone else. As for externally, we have opportunities and also threats. Being in this environment nowadays, we need to utilize and present our strengths and decrease our weakness. We need to utilize the strength to find more opportunities and to eliminate the threats. In our life, whether you are a young person or you are at being in the middle age, we need to think about SWOT analysis. This is important because by knowing your strengths, understand the trend, you will know your objectives and direction. Let's have a look at this together, the product and market trend. When you provide services to customers, you need to understand the products that customers like. Products have its life cycle, just like a company. At the introductory period, it's like a newborn baby, and it started to grow, become like an adolescent, and then become a mature person and an aged person. It's the same for a company. As infancy, changing into a standardized or stable company with the support of our customers. But don't forget that after the prime time of a company, the company will start to decline. That would be the common issue when a company have existed for 20 or 30 years time. That's when the company need to have a new blood and innovation. We need to know this very clearly. It's unlikely for customers to like you all the time. They will think that you are getting old and your service are no longer good. You can never wait until the company started to decline. You need to have the sense of crisis. Customer would notify you when they choose somewhere else. Products are like human beings. There's a life expectancy. Products decline, but we should never wait until products started to decline. You'll be too late. Speaking of products, there's a concept to know. Is the product no longer favored by the customers? Do we need to make an adjustment to the products? Let's look at these metrics. The horizontal axis refers to the function of a product. The vertical axis refers to the price point of a product, from low to high. If a product is expensive but also functional, then it's located on the top left of the chart. Means it's very valuable and profit-making. Customers are willing to spend money on the functional products. And next, if the product is highly functional, and if it is greater than any other products, often customers like these kind of products. Instead, if a product doesn't have a lot of functions and is also cheap, then this kind of product would be like a product that should be abandoned, like an abandoned baby. We can eliminate it from the market because customers don't like it. We need to understand in which products are like a star product, which are like dog type products, and which are the cash cow type products. If it's like an infant, then we can abandon it and maybe change it completely or change a new one. Okay, let's talk about a theory, the so-called 80-20 rule. Have you heard about this before? What is 80-20 rules? It means that 20% of your products will generate 80% of your operational income. In other words, 20% of the customers accounts for the main 80% of the revenue. For example, the top 20 clients. These 80-20 rules can be applied everywhere. How do we utilize these 80-20 or 20-80 rules? We need to know clearly that we position our products into different level. For example, the high end, middle end, or low end of the pyramids. Unless you are only selling high-end products, but in the tourism and hospitality industry, you don't just offer high-end products. We need to allocate them accordingly. Often, we have contractual clients accounting for 70% of the total clients. We have the group-based customers accounting for 20% of total clients, and individual one 5 to 7%. So these are the division of the customer sources. So when it comes to the 80 or 20 rules, you need to pay attention which customers will generate 80% of the revenue, and you need to maintain the relationship with these customers. Once you have the correct market positioning, you can focus on them accordingly. You wouldn't just focus on the high-end customers. Otherwise, the other level of customers will be singled out. If you only have low-end customers, then you would not be able to target your market precisely. You also need to have different targets and strategies for different level of customers. We need to clearly know one thing. When you arrive at a hospitality business or a shop, you need to clearly know who the key men and right men are. Who should you approach with? Say, for example, you are a salesperson of a company and you are visiting someone. Who is this person? Does this person have any decision-making right? Or is he just an assistant? Are you looking for the right man? That's very important. So let's have a look. So these are the roles of a company that have a decision-making right. We need to find the right person. First one, decision maker. This is the company owner. Once this person says yes, other people have to execute. Other than the decision maker, the owner, the next person is the influencer, which means the influencer's comments or suggestions are taken into account by the company owner. These are the key people. Influencers include the wife of the company owner, the board member, and designers. The next type of persons are suggesters, which means the supervisors of the department that carry things out. Often, the supervisors give suggestions or share their experience, and their opinions are taken into account by the company owner. The next one, the executor, which means the people who carry things out. They do not necessarily just follow the guidance. When they carry things out, they know the issues or they know some suggestions. They raise them and the company owner will take them into account. So don't be short-sighted. The next type of person who have decision-making power is the users. They are the direct user. These are the 5 types of roles in the company that have decision-making power. They are the right person. We need to clearly know this type of people and know how to interact with them.